right, second round. Control deck time. Would I like to play first? Absolutely. Does this look like a good hand to you guys? Yeah, I think it looks okay. We're pretty likely to go Gutter Skulk, Balustrade Spy, or whatever. And if we draw a white source, we've got a really sweet hand here. So, again, this card being one of the better cards around. Now, we don't have any removal, which is a little concerning, but having a 2-drop helps that out a lot, just in case they play whatever, Daring Skyjack or something. It's like you can just lose to that card if you have a hand like this that doesn't have a 2 or any removal. So we would have to mulligan that. But having a Gutter Skulk means that we have a little bit of defense. Plus, we're on the play, which means we get a little bit of a leg up as far as hitting our mana, maybe getting that assemble down, that kind of stuff. All right, a green card, he says. All right, so there's a swing. Not too bad. We're going to need to hit a white source here, but we've got a million white sources in the deck, so it won't be an issue going forward, but we will need to hit it eventually here. Main phase Shamble Shark. Okay, well, let's pass the turn. We've got Killing Glare, so we've got a lot of things. If he plays a Krakenura, we could consider killing the Krakenura with Killing Glare. Because we can trade off the Shamble Shark for the Gutter Skulk, and we figure we're going to hit mana to be able to cast one of these two at some point in the near future, the next few turns. If he offers a trade for Shamble Shark, we'll just snap him off, and then if he goes for a pump spell, we'll get him. Oh, please send that guy in. Okay, he didn't. Well, this is interesting. He just does nothing. So I can take this turn to kill this Shamble Shark, but if we miss a land drop, then I'm going to regret that. If we hit our land drop, then I'm going to want to play a creature, but if I do, that seems fine anyway. So yeah, let's just get some creatures going here. Maybe he's got Spell Rupture he wants to get me with it. No? All right. I'm certainly not going to play around it at this point. All right, there is a Simic Charm. We know that there's another one floating around in this draft at least as well. So if he ships in there with the Shamble Shark, we might just take it this time. But I'm not even going to attack him. We're really playing a control deck here. The Assemble the Legion is the card, and what can happen here is he can play a creature, evolve this guy, and then attack, and we'd be forced to trade Balustrade Spy for Shamble Shark, which isn't a great trade, but Skulk for Shark is a fine trade. He might have another one, although he main phased that first one for some reason, so I'm not really sure what that was about. All right, he just did nothing for the turn. Just didn't do anything. All right. If we hit a white source, we're just going to slam Assemble. If we don't, then we can just keep Killing Glare up. All right, so maybe he's missing a color here. That's potentially a thing. All right, no attack. Okay. Confessor and... definitely attacking with the Spy. The question is, do I want to attack with Gutter Skulk? Yeah, that's a trade I'm willing to make. Because now we've got Killing Glare up, so when he plays whatever he plays here, we can just kill the Shamble Shark, or we can see if it's something that we really need to kill. Oh, no problem. That happens sometimes. All right, he's up to 5 here. So we could be looking at quite a few different things. Adaptive Snapjaw is certainly a possibility. All right, he's got a Burning Tree Emissary. That can resolve. going to get an evolve here, but the question is, what is he following it up with? He's got 5 mana available. Thinking. Hands of Binding. That's kind of interesting. Well, this gets really annoying if he does have the Simic Charm, but I am going to go for it here because we essentially get a 2-for-1 if he doesn't. And if he does, then we take 6 here, which is like really lame. But it does get it out of his hand so that we can block with the... Alright, so he didn't have it anyway. Kingpin's Pet. Alright, so we've got all white cards in hand, and we just need to kind of get lucky here and hit a white source. I'm not going to attack him. I just want to be able to block. Basically, I want to be able to conserve our life total. With this type of hand, when we hit a white source, like, we just are going to wreck him. But it might take a while. Urban Evolution. All right, well, that's going to change the complexion of the game, but thankfully it means no pressure on us this turn. So if he offers us trade, yeah, I'll probably just take it. I might not. I guess I have Balustrade Spy. Hi. Yeah, no, I'm actually not going to take it. I'll just attack him with the Gutter Skulk and play and attack with the Balustrade Spy here, and leave the Balustrade Spy back. Can take 2 here. You bet. A lot of people today. All right, and thankfully, while I'm a little bummed that we didn't draw a white source, I'm pretty happy that we happen to pick up a Grizzly Spectacle, because if he just windmills some big bomb here, we can just kill it. We've got a blocker here. We can block with impunity. If he goes for a combat trick, we can 2-for-1 him. All right, Snapjaw. Snapjaw resolves. He has no attacks here. And I'll probably... Interesting choice here. I should probably just kill it. I don't know if there's really a big reason to. He's going to need to play another creature, and then I can kill it. Again, this is sort of similar to before, where if I draw white... if I draw white, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm just going to wait. All right, so... more swamps, it seems. I'm going to attack with Balustrade Spy here, though. And just pass the turn. He'll probably play something to get this Snapjaw going, and then I'll kill it. Maybe make this trade. It depends what it is that he plays. Yeah, this was kind of annoying, though, because we had him down, and, you know, again, I was looking at my hand and being like, okay, if we start resolving these spells, then he's not going to be able to come back. But this is a big change to that. Drawing 3 out of nowhere means that he can actually just sort of, because these are mostly 1-for-1s. This is actually sort of a 2-for-1. If we do hit a white source that's untapped, I might just play this guy first and make sure that the way is clear for to get Assemble down. It doesn't need, we don't need to have it down immediately or anything. It takes a while to win, so you kind of want to make sure everything's cleared up. All right, so he's going to start with a Shamble Shark so he can get 2 triggers here when he plays whatever it is that he's playing. I guess Crown Ceratok would be the worst case scenario here. kind of annoying. Sweet, no attack this turn. Oh, he is attacking. All right, well, we're obviously doing this. He clearly has a trick of some sort, but that's okay because we have a response. And I mean, if he wants to make that trade, I could not be happier about that. Hopefully he uses a big... Oh, he does. Oh, that is fantastic. So why don't we just get a bigger mill out of him here? So that happens. Oh, man. That is lovely. I like you. So he has to mill 11, which is like pushing half of his deck here. So let's see what he's got in this deck. Looks kind of sketchy, to be honest. Rogue, let's see here. Disciple, Krakenura, Rogue. So 2 rogues and a force adaptation. So this, at least from what we've seen there, it's actually not that bad of a matchup for us. Death's Approach. Well, that's certainly live. We know that. And I think... this is interesting, actually. I can Death's Approach and just hit him for 4. He does have 4 cards in hand. I mean, we know he's going to follow up with something. And we don't really have an answer to stuff beyond that. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to stay conservative here. It's a little bit nitty, but I'm really concerned because, you know, we're kind of jammed up in our hand here. Like, we've got 5 spells that we can't cast, and even if we draw a white source, we can cast 1 per turn. And that's a little sketchy. So I'm really trying to get an extra mileage out of our Gutter Skulk here. Like if he evolves this, and then we can just block it. How many creatures are in the yard? I'm sure there's a ton, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. So we can use Death's Approach to kill something even massive. You know, whatever he can cast, basically. But that's really what I'm more worried about here than anything else. You know, 6s and 7s and that kind of thing. Like a Nimbus Swimmer, for example. All right, so if he attacks with Shambles Shark, I am just going to snap that thing off with the Gutter Skulk. Yeah, and I'm doing this because we can't afford to let the Shambles Shark grow any bigger. All right, so we're still in a fine spot here. Yeah, we even get to play 2 spells this turn. That's kind of nice. So get this guy out of here. And attack you. And Millennial Gargoyle. So we've got him on a 2-turn clock if he can't produce a flyer here. And if the gods are nice to us and give us a white mana at any point during the course of this game, then we're in much, much better shape. But we're not out of the woods yet. I like the situation we're in, but would like it much, much better if I could just draw white mana here. I think like half of our deck is white mana at this point. All right, looks like he screwed up his... he might have done that on purpose, but he could have just replayed this guy. All right, so we take nothing this turn. We hit him. Yeah, we're still in really good shape. I just can't hit that white mana, though, but I'm going for the win here because we certainly win this race. He's going to need a Krakenur or something to change the math. Your move. So he needs to find something that can get in the way of these 2 creatures. If he does, we stop attacking, and he's actually in a decent spot. If he wants, he can hit us for 7 this turn. And then that would mean that we really, really need to draw. All right, so he didn't. All right, so we managed to win that game with our Rakdos deck somehow. Is there anything we want to change? Holy Mantle seems much better against him. we saw essentially no removal, and it looked like a bunch of combat tricks. So Holy Mantle, it looks like, can just stick on something and just be like, look, you're never getting through this ever. So that's good. So I like that. So why don't we bring that in? I think we can cut Gift then. I mean, I still think Gift is good versus him. In fact, it's similarly good versus him. But the downside being that we have essentially 11 creatures here, and I just don't want to run 2 auras. So yeah, let's run this, and let's see what happens. Smite's a little better versus him too. In fact, maybe we bring in a Smite for a Death's Approach. I'm going to submit that. I might change it. It looks like he's taking a little while here. No, I think that's better, because if he's not removing our guys, then our Smites get way better. Plus, Smite against Blood Rush is fantastic. Hey, you are interrupting a recording. No big deal, though. It wasn't Shadowmoor Eventide your first... Yes, it was, in fact. All right, now there's a hand. Would I like to mulligan to 6? No. All right, so lead off with one of these, and then we get to Devour Flesh whatever he plays first. Thankfully, it wasn't a Spire Tracer, because there's nothing more miserable than Devour Flesh and a Spire Tracer, but that is fine. And also a little bit loose. I mean, this thing does have flash, man. Like, you should be considering waiting. Now, the question is, do I do anything here? I didn't see Spell Rupture, and if he wants to use it to save his Shamble Shark, I think I'm just fine with that, actually. I might even Orzhov Charm it. He's going to play that. So that's going to do that, and I think I'm just going to Orzhov Charm this thing. Because I still have Executioner swing for anything that's like really nasty. And Orzhov Charm is one of those cards that, like, yeah, it's unconditional, but man, if you start taking a beat down, then it gets a lot worse. Because, you know, you do lose that life. So if you use it on a 5/5, it's like getting it in for one hit for free. So we're just going to wait. We're going to give him the chance to pump his Metropolis Sprite here and maybe use up an extra mana. Say no. He's got to tell us what he wants to do here. If he passes priority. All right, so he did that for us. So that's nice, because it might stunt his growth a little bit. Oh, I should have let that resolve. Yeah, he gains an extra life. The chances that it's relevant are really small, but I meant to say okay to that and then do it. So could have been at 21, but I got a little jumpy on the trigger finger. So now if we hit an untapped land next turn, we're set. I mean, we're going to be doing awesome stuff. I'm probably just going to play Knight of Obligation, pray to hit another land, and then play 4-drop, 4-drop, 4-drop. So pretty good spot for us. And he got back the guy. All right, well, we missed our land. Our lands are not cooperating in this match, but we did draw a spell we can cast, so that's nice. He played Wildwood Rebirth on his Sprite of all things. Executioner swing is going to be good. He's got 2 Keymaster Rogues, and this is a really good way to deal with that, so that's nice. Considering offering the trade here, that's probably silly, though. If I do offer the trade, though, it means that he can't cast Keymaster Rogue for a little while longer, and it means that this Assault Griffin can actually get in there. I don't think I'm going to be doing too much extorting. I can just play Knight of Obligation and start extorting if that's what I want to do. So yeah, I'm actually going to offer this trade here. This is an unconventional trade. I normally wouldn't offer it, but I think he's got Keymaster Rogue in hand, and I know he has 2 in the deck, and if we can keep him from even being able to cast it, we get a lot of value there. And you know, if he doesn't block here, then we just get 2 free damage, so that's nice too, because we're not going to block there. Yeah, he just took it. Yeah, I think he's I think that is the case. I think he's got the Rogue. Yeah, I think Knight of Obligation is good here. If we want to save a turn to do Executioner Swing or something, we can pay for double Extort, which is going to help the race in a big way, or not the race, but the just the damage, keeping us alive longer. And if we don't, then this guy hits for 2, this guy hits for 3. It's pretty similar. Yeah, so we were correct about the Keymaster Rogue thing, but thankfully we have an answer to it. Not to mention the fact that we can just race it at this point, because he's going to replay his sprite, and he's not going to be able to pump it. So we actually have free attacks here, essentially. Night Watch, ooh, that's a good one too. All right, so let's attack. I mean, if he wants to get brave, he can double block here, but then we just trade for Keymaster Rogue, which is fine. Taking it, yep. And let's apply the maximum pressure. So this is going to trade for this eventually, but we might draw removal in between then, and even then it's not really the end of the world. All right, he's got Hands of Binding though. Okay. Well, we know what our plan is now. We're going to ship the turn back. When he hits us with the Keymaster Rogue next turn, we're going to swing it. It's a little lame. We're going to take a bunch of damage here, but Hands of Binding is a good one. We've still got 2 Extorters on the table, though, so we're going to be able to nullify a bunch of this damage. He's down to 1 card in hand, so we're looking just fine here. Oh, and he even left a blocker that can actually get in the way of this. All right, no cards in hand, so we should be set up here to win this pretty nicely. I mean, he's got tons of mana and stuff. He could easily hit whatever, but yeah, I think we're in a good spot. I could attack with Kingpin's Pet. He's got a block here, though, so like it doesn't really do much, and I think I'm just going to leave it back and go for the Executioner Swing here. We get a couple of Extorts out of the deal. He can get in for an extra couple of damage here, but if he does, then he's going to be taking a bunch on the crackback, and yeah, I think that's fine. I'll block the Krakenura, though, if he attacks with that. If he does find a creature to evolve, well, I guess he would have done that, so that's not going to happen. Okay, yeah. No Brooks. Yeah, they've got Shadowmoor Eventide on Magic Online right now, which is kind of exciting. That when I first came back to Magic, that was a set that the sets that had just come out. So those are the first ones that I ever drafted, actually. Because I played back in the day for a little while, but I was very bad, and I didn't even know what drafting was. I think it had just started to exist. Thrilling conclusion. All right, so let's swing the Keymaster Rogue. Swing this guy. All right, Rogue down. And we're going to have these 2 guys. All right, I think I like just playing a 4-drop here. I think I like just playing Balustrade Spy and just double extorting. No reason really to get Night Watch down there when Spy's probably better in this spot anyway, and get some extort going on. Let's mill him. See what he was going to hit. Nimbus Swimmer, Disciple, Adaptive. Well, I'm glad those are gone. Do I have attacks here? Not really. He has no cards in hand. I guess I could attack just sort of for free here. Yeah, there's kind of no reason not to. Like, he might just misclick, or maybe he's dumb. I probably should have attacked first, though. I didn't think I was going to, but this is one of those ones where it's just like, it's free, right? Like, he has no cards in hand, so there's nothing he can do, and you just make him do it. Sometimes people come up with weird stuff, although if you have untapped mana, they're much more likely to come up with weird stuff. So anyway, that's a very, very, very small edge thing. But I'm not blocking here anyway. Looks like he's tanking it out here. If he does evolve that Croconura, it's going to get a little weird for us. But he doesn't have any real attacks here. He can attack for 1 or maybe 2, but he has to tap his whole team to do it. What was that? What did he just do? Oh, he just pumped his Oculus. Okay, sure. He has no red mana, so we know he's not doing any of that. Could have that Simic Charm. But at this point, I think if I have to trade Simic Charm for a Night of Obligation, well, okay. All right. Looks like he's just flexing his muscles there a little bit. All right, that's an interesting draw. That is a very interesting draw, actually. Because if we take out Metropolis Sprite, then we can attack with everybody. Well, not with everybody, but we can attack with this, this, and this. And he's got a block, but it won't kill any of our guys. If we take out... But then if he plays like any creature, basically, then Croconura is going to be a 2/4, and it can just block all our guys indefinitely. So it feels kind of like a foregone conclusion that this Metropolis Sprite is going to trade for something. Most likely this Assault Griffin. So I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to play it a little safe here. I'm going to get rid of this guy. And so what I have 2 choices. I can attack with everything, but with all our flyers, I mean. In which case he trades for Assault Griffin and he takes 4. That puts him to 7 and he has no flyers. It looks like he was doing the math here too, and he decided that he's had enough. All right, so we're going to be in the finals. We'll see you guys in just a minute.